Hey guys, Ranger here, and welcome back to another video. And this is my reaction and review to the 6th episode of MLP, which is, the 6th episode of MLP FiM, which is Surf and or Turf. Is this the long-awaited beach episode that people have been dying for years? Probably not. Probably not. I wish. I wish. Now, I know something with Equestria Girls. We got a beach-related thing with that. But, yeah, people still wanted ponies. People still wanted the pony version of that. So, anyway, let's go ahead and begin. Okay. I don't know anything about this episode. Honestly, I haven't seen anything about this episode. All I know is that the CMCs are in it. That's all I know. And I know that because I had to check the video to make sure that the video and the quality and sound worked, and CMCs entered the Twilight's place, and that's all I know. I don't know anything about this episode, so without further ado, let's begin. Starting the video. Start recording. Yay, good. Good. Okay. Surf and or Turf. Starting the video. 3, 2, 1, play. Twilight. What?
That's what happens when you're summoned by the map.
Some pony needs our help?
Oh my.
Being called by the map?
You three? Cat-like.
So, where exactly in Equestria are we needed?
Actually, where you're going isn't even in Equestria.
What?
Wow, that's almost off the table. But what's way out there?
Mount Eris, the home of the hippogriffs. And that's
Wait.
where you're headed.
What?
Whoa.
What? They're going... What? They're going to Mount Ares. I'm not against this, but what? Okay. I'm confused. The CMCs? Okay. Alright. Guess we'll... Hey, it's Dinky.
You really don't need to come with us, Twilight. We can take care of this mission just fine on
Surf
our own.
and or turf.
Yeah!
Ow!
I know that. But I'm not so sure the ponies who care about you want you going off so far on your own.
Yeah.
Besides, there's some school business I need to take care of on Mount Eris.
Really?
This permission slip is for Silverstream. It's very important that her mother and father sign it, or else no field trips.
Sounds like some pony just wants a vacation.
Okay, yes, I have been wanting to visit Mount Eris ever since the hippogriffs moved back, but it's purely research. Silverstream's
Alright.
brother is going to meet us there and take us to their houses.
Wow, they have more than one house?
I guess so. The social structure of the hippogriffs and sea ponies is a bit of a mystery.
All aboard! Last stop, the new
Yeah, we didn't really find out very much about that during the movie. So this is an interesting and a very interesting occasion here. This is a very good chance to build on that. Hey!
I don't know if
He's
I
back.
like being a hippogriff. Part bird, part pony. I'm happy with just my pony parts, thanks. I think hippogriffs are pretty neat. I learned all about them from Applejack. The hippogriffs all once lived happily on Mount Eris. But when the Storm King invaded, they used a magic pearl to turn into sea ponies and escape to the underwater safety of Sequestria. Then, in the Battle of Canterlot, when Applejack defeated the Storm King...
Apple!
She told you she defeated him by herself?
Maybe she didn't say that exactly, but it makes for a better story.
Adorable Twilight.
Mount Eris Station.
They have a train station! Whoa! This is the first time being here since the movie. And this isn't even... This is a different place. Wow. Hey! That looks like Raven Rock in Skyrim. Actually, Solstein.
Alright, so what kind of cutie mark-related friendship problem do you think we're supposed to solve?
I don't know, but hippogriffs don't have cutie marks, so it might not have anything to do with that at all.
Nope.
Huh. Still, the map called us, so it must be a kind of problem that only we can solve.
There's got to be a reason.
Go Crusaders!
And I'm imagining it's involving the
Exactly
kids.
who we're supposed to help. Attention, please! Any grip here have a problem? That's all I got. Maybe if the map could be a little more specific about our mission.
Yeah, it
like
never
maybe
is.
An address.
The map doesn't really work like that, but I'm sure you and whoever needs help
You'll find it.
will find each other.
You'll find it. So, I love that little bounce.
Excuse me, Miss Sparkle? Over here.
Miss Sparkle.
Sorry I'm late. I'm Silverstream's brother, Terramar.
A hippogriff can have a sea pony for a brother? How does that work exactly? Shh! It's rude to ask a question like that.
No, it doesn't.
Oh,
That explains it.
can I ask now?
It is kind of strange. See, after the Storm King was defeated, the sea ponies didn't have to hide anymore. So some of them changed back to hippogriffs and went home to Mount Eris.
But others got used to living under the water and stayed in Sequestria.
And me?
Sequestria, okay.
Kind of go back and forth.
That was
But
on
it's
the
a
map.
tiny piece of the magic pearl. It was
The
split
mobile
up
phone
among our
game.
kingdoms.
Game off.
Oh.
Well, I'm pretty eager to see the Hippogriff Village. You know, to get this form signed and research. So,
Hey, Terramar, does any griff you
I like
know
his
there
name.
have a problem they need help with?
On Mount Eris? No, every griff is pretty happy up there. It's a great place to live.
Wow. Cute designs.
whoa, this looks amazing. Last time I was here, it was a ghost town.
Yeah, Queen Novo thought it was important to return our village to its former glory.
We're not going to see the...
And now, I officially open the Glad to Be a Hippogriff Festival!
Okay. That's the best name you could have come up with. I don't know why, but I had flashbacks to Charlie Brown right there with them. As they had their heads tilted back. I don't think that was part of the plan. Actually, okay, never mind.
Wow, it's a good day to show up.
Not really. We do this every weekend. Hippogriffs really like being hippogriffs.
There's my boy!
Hi, Dad!
Haven't seen you in days, son. Wish you'd come around more often.
Oh, Dad, these are Silverstream's friends from Equestria. They came up to...
Princess Twilight Sparkle! Attention, every griff! Princess Twilight Sparkle is here! She's Silverstream's teacher.
Oh boy.
Here to take in the marvel that is Mount Eris, Your Highness?
Absolutely. And to have you sign a form for Silverstream.
Glad to. But first, let's show the princess some real Mount Eris hospitality. To the refreshment tent for a stein of salmon juice.
It'd be interesting if we could actually see...
Research. See you later. And good luck. I know you'll find your mission.
Queen Novu, again? It'd be interesting to see her again, and her daughter, since
All
we
my
haven't seen her
relatives are nice.
since the movie.
Kind of the problem.
Wait, stop.
But, yeah.
Wonderful sound.
Those are the harmonizing heights. Legend says that...
Sweetie Bill just turned into Speedy Gonzales. Wow, that is nice. I love that sound. Oh, Oh my gosh, that is heavenly.
Yeah, awesome! I love this!
Is she okay?
This is
That is
absolutely
beautiful.
the best place ever! You are so lucky! And you get to swim in the ocean! You have 2 great places to live! How do you make up your mind which one to stay in?
I can't. That's the problem.
Did you say problem? You have a problem? Yes! We discovered our mission! Alright!
That might not be your mission.
Sorry, you were talking about your problem?
Right. Like I said, Mount Eris is one great place to live. That's why Silverstream and my dad and some of my cousins came back here. But Sequestria is another great place to live. That's where my mom is.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So no matter where I am, I feel like I'm letting someone down.
No wonder you're having such a hard time deciding.
And I have to choose soon. Every other Griff my age already knows where they belong. I'm still not sure.
When in
Who says
doubt,
you have to
shout
choose
it out.
one or the other? Just choose both.
Now, we put down everything
Just
great
choose
about
both.
each place and everything not so great. Compare them, and your decision is made for you. Well, it's obvious, isn't it? Mount Eris is the best of all possible worlds. Pro, it's beautiful. Con, too far from Equestria. I think that pretty much sums it up.
Seriously.
But you haven't been to Sequestria yet. How can you even compare them?
Terramar's right, Sweetie Belle. It'd be more fair if we visit both places before we decide. Hey, every pony! This festival is fantastic! Look what I won at the ring toss booth!
That face.
But of course, I'm really here on business.
Yeah, right.
Now I just need your mom's signature. Is she around?
Nope, she's under the sea.
She's a sea pony in Sequestria.
That's what Silverstream meant by houses.
Mm-hmm. If you'd like to meet my mom, we're just heading down there now.
And how exactly are we gonna visit underwater?
Magic! Sea ponies again! Twilight looks... I don't know why, but Twilight looks more adorable as a sea pony here.
This must be just like flying! Woohoo!
Oh, that
Where's
kinda
your mom's
hurt.
house, Terramar?
Come on, it's this way.
This is awesome!
Ooh, lovely. Oh, wow. Ha! We haven't been here in a while. Since October.
Mom!
Terramar, welcome home, baby. No excuses. This time you're staying for dinner.
Again, I love the voice acting in this. Like him, his mom, his dad. I love the voice acting. They're like the people that they got to do the voices are awesome. They really
Twilight
suit them.
Sparkle, what an honor. You know, Silverstream just raves about you.
Well, she is one of our most hard-working students. In fact, I brought this form for you to sign so that...
Both my children are so smart. Would you like to see their baby pictures?
Terrible! I'd love to! You know, to find out about aquatic pony early development and,
Research.
Oh, well, maybe your friends would like a snack while we're gone? Some kelp chips? Fish oil tea?
No thanks, Mom. I'm gonna go show them around.
Waiting for a Little Mermaid reference here.
Can't catch me.
Like, where the freak is Sebastian?
Not much sunlight down here, is there? Boom, bada boom, bada boom, bada boom, bada boom, bada boom, bada boom. No grass to run in and no hooves to run on it with. And excuse me, but how do you keep from getting all pruny?
You're turning into your sister. You are turning into your sister.
Sounds funny down here. Okay, I've seen everything I need to. So, why don't we find Twilight Sparkle the chart and head back up the mountain. I have some serious field twirling to do. Where's she going? I want to stay and swim some more.
I get what's going on here. Scootaloo will choose Under the Sea.
Princess Twilight, you're back! And just in time for
Sweetie
the
Belle will
staging
choose On Land.
Could be another trophy in my future. Be back soon.
Twilight, you're having way too much fun.
All right, let's add some positives to the Sequestria side. Swimming is like
Here.
flying, multicolored fish, and did I mention the flying thing? You forgot the cons. Dark, wet, sea monsters. I don't remember any sea monsters. Apple Bloom, looks like it's up to you. Me? Well, both places have a lot of good things about them. I understand why it's hard for you to decide. Your heart is in two places.
Oh my gosh, we got a song.
And only live in one. You're torn between the hilltops and the tide. Thank goodness that the Cutie Mark Crusaders have begun to give you hope and help you to decide.
We got a song.
These hills they call to you, they say harmonizing heights. This is your home, simple and serene. The sun-dappled leaves are a mountain terrace. You can see 23 different shades of green. To dare to compare anywhere to there is unfair and just plain wrong. Cold term air or you wear feathers, fins, or
I see what is going on
this
here.
is where you belong.
That's good animation right there. That's awesome.
I can think of a place that's way more exciting and
Sweetie Belle represents him loving that, loving land. Scootaloo represents
You're supposed to be there underneath the sea where you can feel at home. Swimming with your friends, you can spend all day here. Playing in the bay here, splashing in the foam. Sailing through.
my gosh, I haven't heard.
You'll view a slew of tortoises. Forget the rest, the sea.
I haven't heard Scootaloo sing since the CMC's got their cutie marks. Is it just me? Has she gotten better?
Harmonizing heights. Live it up here in Sequestria. Nothing compares to harmonizing heights. The eagles are regal, but the schools are cooler. Their claws are so awesome with their sweet maneuvers. Star wishes every night. Starfish by Eolite. Better, wetter, shinier, brinier. Sequestria! Harmonizing heights! Sequestria! Harmonizing heights! That's it. This is the end. Don't ever talk to me.
Oh no!
Again.
I love Apple Bloom's expression. It was just like,
If you all can't even agree amongst yourselves, how am I supposed to make up my mind? It's hopeless.
okay. First off, I love I loved Apple Bloom's expression. Like, what the fuck just happened?
Sweetie Belle
Adorable.
said to tell you it's your fault that Terramar ran off. Well, you tell Sweetie Belle that if it weren't
They're back to
for
back,
her,
aren't
the
they?
mission would have been over by now. And a success.
They're
Sweetie
back
Belle
to
says
back.
This whole thing is your fault.
They're like 2
Well,
feet from
tell
each other.
her that I'm not the one who dashed all of Terramar's hopes and made him give up on the world. Both worlds.
See, I
Belle
told you,
says
they're
it's your
2 feet
fault
from
that
each other.
Terramar Oh, wait. I already told you that, didn't I?
What's going on? Where's Terramar?
Well, he kind of left.
We had a
He wanted
problem.
to be by himself. Which was not my fault. Mine either. Well, of course not. Why would you think that?
As the y'all just shut up.
Because it was our fault. All we had to do was help him choose which world.
I love Apple Bloom's
Let him
expression. It's like,
down.
she just has that, I'm getting tired of y'all right now. I'm getting tired of yours.
Maybe Terramar is making it harder than it has to be.
Yoo-hoo! Princess! We're having a seashell crafting circle. Care to join us?
Actually, we're right in the middle of...
There you are. The flag folding ceremony is about to begin.
Oh no.
Thank you, really. I've had a great time in both places today, but... Wow, this must be how Terramar feels all the time.
Oh, hello, Skybeak.
Ocean Flow. You're looking well.
This gives me an idea.
Omar.
Huh. I thought for sure he came this way. He did.
And I'm staying here, too. That way, I don't have to be on land or in the water.
We're sorry. We were supposed to help you, and we just ended up confusing you more. It's all our fault.
Oh, great. You're sorry, and I'm still confused. I'm staying in my tree.
We might have something worth coming down for. We thought we'd get every creature together for a picnic on the beach. And we mean every creature. Yay!
Beach party!
Son, there you are. Your friends told us how you've been feeling.
And we're sorry if we ever made you think you had to choose between worlds. That wasn't our intention, honey.
Your hippogriff heritage is something to be proud of, certainly.
But you're more than just where you're from or who you live with. We love you because you're you, no matter where you choose to be.
You don't have to decide. You can keep doing what you've been doing, going back and forth.
And enjoying both places.
I can't be certain, but, like, is there supposed to be an indirect reference to divorce here? Is there supposed to be something like that going on?
Family and friends who love you.
Thanks for everything. Hey, are you glowing?
Okay, so it was a friendship problem.
Congratulations! Your first map mission is a success.
Guess that
Woo!
means we're officially done here. I hope you come visit your sister in Equestria. Yeah, come see us. You'll love it. Who knows? You might even want to live there. Yeah, that was a joke.
Freeze frame. Gotta do a freeze frame. Alright. This was a very interesting episode. This was indeed a very interesting episode, and it was an interesting setup. With Tomar, basically he was torn between because his dad enjoyed being a hippogriff, being on land. His mom enjoyed being a sea pony, and so it was two different worlds ultimately. And he was torn because he wanted he was kind of basing his decision on other hippogriffs his age. They had made a decision whether to live on land or live in the water, and so he wasn't really sure. He thought that he should make a decision as well, and this is the first time that we get to see the CMCs actually assisting with the cutie map in some way. This is the first time we've actually seen that, which is cool. We haven't seen that before, so this is an interesting thing. So this was an interesting thing, seeing the CMCs actually being able to help. This was their first time actually doing something with the map, and it was interesting because Twilight tagged along. I wasn't sure if the CMCs were going to do this on their own, or if they were actually, or if maybe some pony might accompany them. It turns out Twilight did, which I think was really cool, because Twilight, honestly, I think out of all of the main six, Twilight was probably the best choice for this, because of how, like, of how she's like the adorable geek, the adorable nerd, and she just had fun. She had fun with that culture, and she said it was for research. She probably did a little bit of research, but she was very loose with her research. It was just like 5 minutes of research, an hour of play, you know. Um, but I think it's cool that she did. That Twilight did actually not spend all that time doing research. That she actually was able to let loose and have some fun, and just hang out and mingle as well. I think that was really cool that she actually did that. And like I said, this is the first time we've actually seen the CMCs do anything with the cutie map. This is the first time we've actually seen the cutie map actually call them. So, an interesting thing, I didn't really pay attention to it before, but this kind of says that the cutie map might be self-aware. The cutie map knows, like, whenever something happens with the main six, with the CMCs, the cutie map is somehow self-aware, and so it's sort of like a database. It is automatically updating itself every little bit with the current goings-on, the current stature and status of different ponies, of different characters, of their locations, things that are going on. And in a sense, it's I know other people have made that mention about the map being probably like self-aware before, and I'm just now getting it. Took me long enough, but yeah, I wondered how that it was. I have wondered a couple times how that the map functions, what powers it, how that it knows things like that. So this just further makes that interest. Like, how does it know? How did it know the CMC's got their marks? How did it know that How does it know which ponies to send? And like Twilight said, the map is never descriptive about. It's very vague about what it does. It just sends. It just gives the map. It just gives the cutie mark of the characters that are supposed to go, or character that is supposed to go. Sends them to a location, and that's it. It's like, hey, I'm sending you here. Figure it out on your own. You know. But I can kind of see why the map does that, because it helps. Because every time that happens, it's not just it's not just the friendship problem that they get to actually help out with. The characters themselves learn something too. So I can see why the map does it. But again, this is a very interesting setup because Tomar had two different worlds to choose between, and he wasn't sure what to do. He was torn, and the CMCs tried to experience both. And Sweetie Belle loved on land, Scootaloo loved in the water, and Apple Bloom loved both. She was neutral. And so Tomar wanted to choose, but he didn't know what to choose. He loved both, and he felt that if he chose one, he would be letting the other down. And that's understandable. But I couldn't help but, like, at the end, I couldn't help but think, was this like an indirect reference to divorce? And they've never touched upon that in the show before, but like I can kind of see that here. That, and what kind of gave me that impression was whenever Tomar's parents addressed each other by their names. They didn't say honey or sweetie or anything like that. They addressed each other by their first names, and they were a little bit formal with each other, not like exactly like husband and wife. It kind of gave me the impression that they were like divorced, and so this was like an indirect reference, like kids that like they have to choose between whether to live with their mom or to live with their dad, and they're not sure which to choose. They're not sure who to choose. Now, of course, this decision is not always, like this. Sometimes it's very easy to make a decision, but in this scenario, if you want to look at it like that, the mom and the dad had separated, but they were still close to each other, just not romantically. They weren't in a romantic relationship anymore. They were still friends. It didn't show them to be with anyone else, so you could say that they are single. They are both single, but in this scenario, both of his parents had separated, and I guess you could say went to two different locations, which were in close proximity to each other. Like one was in one town, the other was in the next town over. Um, and so they, or maybe another house a few blocks over. And so he was like, he loved both of his parents and both were great, but he had to choose between which parent to live with. And in the end, he, he hadn't told them how he felt, and so the CMCs told his parents how he felt torn, and so they realized, that they had kind of been pressuring him, and so they wanted him to have the freedom to be able to choose, like, which place that he wanted to, be. And he ultimately, I guess, made the decision to go with both. Like he can, he can come and go as he pleases to and from both places. And so again, it might not be a direct reference to that, but I couldn't help but think they're going with a sort of, like, it kind of seems like they're going with an indirect thing with divorce here. And that's the first time I've ever seen them do something like this in MLP. I mean, we know they sort of hinted. I mean, they've hinted a few times before with 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 the Apple parents being gone, Pear Butter and Bright Mac. Just to name a few. Whenever we saw the two stars streak across the sky, whenever Apple Bloom got her cutie mark, and Applejack said, "I wish Ma and Pa were here," or I wish Mom and Dad were here to see it. And then of course there was how other people, such as Burnt Oak, and the other character whose name I forgot, refer to them in past tense, not present tense. And so it kind of, again, this kind of makes me think that they were kind of going, like, it wasn't a direct divorce reference. Now, if Tomar's parents had have addressed, had have said, "Honey," something like that, it wouldn't have clicked in my mind. But whenever they addressed each other but the moment that they addressed each other by their names, that's whenever I kind of thought something was kind of fishy with it. I just realized what I said. Fishy. We're talking about sea ponies. Kind of fishy with the story, and that's what gave me the impression. And at the end, whenever his parents were talking about how he can come and go as he pleases to both locations, that's what gave me the impression there. Like, that further solidified my belief. Now, like I said, that is just my personal belief. I don't know if anybody else has got that reference or got that idea from watching this. I really don't know. Or if any other reviewers have got that. But, that's just my personal thought. That's what clicked in my mind whenever I saw this. And, honestly, divorce is not something that I like. I just don't like the idea of divorce. I do not like the idea of divorce. I hate the concept, to be honest with you. No, my parents are not divorced. My parents are still together. They're still married. Have been since they met. But for me, divorce is just not something that I like. I just don't like the sound. I don't like what it is. I just don't like the sound of it. To me, I think that, two people, if they get together, try to work things out. I understand that sometimes it just doesn't work out, but still, I'm just, I don't like sad endings. I don't like to see people split. I don't like to see people separate. And I just don't like to see something good end. I don't like that idea. I hate that idea. And so, for me, I was a little squeamish with this whenever I realized where they were the implications that they gave with the story. In my mind, it made me feel squeamish about it. They did do a really good job with telling the story, and they helped to tell the story in a really solid, really warm way, and it didn't end badly. But it still made me feel squeamish just because of the direction of the implications that the story was overall giving. And I mean, I am happy that the parents were still talking, you know, and getting along just fine, because more often than not, sometimes we hear about parents who have split and they don't have any communication whatsoever, or at the very least, like the child is just with one parent because the other one doesn't want to have anything to do with that family. And here they're actually talking, you know, like they're still friends, you know, like they're best friends or something. But again, I don't like the idea of, and they might not be divorced, you know, they might not be divorced whatsoever at all, because I mean, they still may be together, and that's kind of what I want to believe here, because I really don't. There was nothing really between them that gave me the idea that there was anything that they didn't see eye to eye on, that they just split with. You know, it's simply put, like they still enjoyed um, like they still like another idea, of course, that you could look at it is they are still married. They are still together. It's just she enjoys living in the water. He loves living on land. And so you can imagine that they spend some time apart, but there are times, of course, whenever like maybe she comes on land or he goes into the water, they spend some time together. Um, you know, it's kind of like a trip, I guess, in a way. You know, like he's on a business trip, taking care of things on land. You know, she's like the stay-at-home mom, I guess you could say, underwater, or you know, she's doing her own thing underwater. So yeah, you can kind of imagine it like that as well. But I would honestly rather imagine that than imagine that they have split. But again, just the way the story handled and what they said and what they did, it gave me the implication that that's where they were going with the story. But again, I'm happy that the story did have a happy ending, and like he didn't choose one, he chose both. And I think that was, you know, honestly really good, because I really don't think that I really honestly believe that there are times that not everything is a choose A or B scenario. There is sometimes a C scenario. There is middle ground. Sometimes there is a middle ground that you can stand on, and you can still have both. And so, but some people don't look at it that way, but I personally do. But it was interesting because there was an interesting contrast here between the different characters. Scootaloo represented Tomar's love for the water, Sweetie Belle represented his love for land, and Apple Bloom represented a neutral ground, which he found later on. And so it was an interesting contrast between these characters here. And this was something because we saw the CMCs begin to bicker, begin to argue. Well, we saw Scootaloo and Sweetie Belle begin to bicker and argue, and they ended up letting, like, both had really good points. Like, they both preferred, you know, each, you know, two different things here. But this kind of, in a way, you could kind of compare this to real life, that here they both chose something else that neither, I mean, and there's a way to look at it here. They each chose something that the other wasn't really the fondest of, that they loved. And because they didn't see eye to eye on that, because they disagreed and they didn't care for the other thing that the other liked, they ended up letting that drive a wedge between them, and they ended up arguing and starting to complain to each other, started to complain about each other, and so they ended up fighting. But they learned that, I think that, you know, here they learned that they did make a mistake. They pretty much, you know, agree to disagree. Don't let a disagreement, don't let likes or dislikes between you ruin a good friendship. And I really like that concept here. I really like where they went with that. They came together, and you know, they were still friends, and they realized, you know, just accept and be happy that the other had something that they did enjoy, and even if you weren't the fondest of it or didn't like it, still be happy the other one enjoys it, and you know that they're having fun, and you know, just because of that one minor thing doesn't mean that you should let a friendship be completely destroyed because of that. You're still friends, you still got that connection, and so stick with that. Don't let something insignificant ruin don't let something insignificant ruin something significant. And so that was my personal take on it. And like I said, it was interesting because Tomar, like I said, this was also interesting because we actually get to see Mount Ares again, or Mount Ares again. And we haven't seen it since the movie, but we actually got to see Mount Ares in its natural glory. Somewhat. we get to see it in its natural glory. Not 100%, but you know, we got, well, okay, we did get to see Mount Ares here in its natural format, or its natural form. We got to see it again. First time seeing it since the movie. And you know, it looks different, of course, than the movie because the animation is different. The movie used Toon Boom. This uses Flash CS or C6 something. It's C something. I think it is. Or maybe not Flash C something, but this does use Flash. And it's interesting that we also get to see how that the train goes directly to it. I don't remember that from the movie, but we see the train goes directly to it, and you have this thing where you go up into the village itself, this pathway. But again, it was interesting to be able to see that culture and to be able to see everything going on within the village and to be able to see the hippogriffs again and be able to see them pretty much celebrating and, you know, being back to normal after years of being underwater. And now the Storm King is no longer a threat, and they're able to just be themselves. And now they're free to choose both worlds. They're free to choose under the sea or on land. I was also getting Little Mermaid 2 return to the sea vibes from this. You know, Ariel, you know, it was very different contrast. Whenever Ariel was a natural born mermaid and she loved on land. She wanted to see the world outside of the ocean. So she ended up becoming human. She met Eric. She became a human, and she started staying on. You know, she moved on land, and she and Eric had a daughter, Melody. Melody loved the ocean, and so that's kind of what I was getting here. Like it was kind of the best. Like Tomar was kind of best of both worlds here. He was kind of a middle ground here. But I was having flashbacks to both of those films. But again, this was a very interesting episode. I definitely can't say it's one of my favorites so far. It's not one of my favorites. It's not one of my favorites so far of this season. It is a really good episode, and I did really enjoy it. But the other episodes that I said were my favorite are still my favorite ones. But there are some really good things about this episode, of course. It was a fun episode. It was cute. It was sweet. And it was really, really adorable all of the way around. But going over a few different aspects about this particular episode. Once again, on the train, we see this girl over here on the right with the two-tone colored hair, her hair in the bun, the pink bow. We've seen this character a few times now, and she is adorable. She's adorable and fun to see. And it's interesting. Also, I loved how they made the reference, the mentions about. I love how they went back and they talked about the Storm King again. It's really cool that so far that they're mentioning what happened in the past, and you know this episode is a continuation of that. It's very, very interesting. But again, it's interesting how here Apple Bloom was telling the story and made the mention that it was Applejack who defeated the Storm King. We all know the truth, but I can pretty much like. Applejack would not say that. Honestly, she would not say she defeated the Storm King by herself. This is just Apple Bloom. You know, I think it's cute. You know, like she's building her sister up. You know, I think that's cute. And this particular moment, whenever Tomar makes a mention about that area in the village where you can hear that sound, and Sweetie Belle suddenly zooms off like the Roadrunner. I'm waiting for somebody to make make an edit of this clip where you hear the Roadrunner do that tongue thing, and then he goes beep beep, and then zooms off with this clip of Sweetie Belle. I'm waiting for somebody to do that. But I did really love the music that was played in this area. Like, I have, that is honestly, I love the instrumental music like this, the orchestration. And this particular music I absolutely love. It's very soothing, it's relaxing. It kind of sounds almost like wind chimes, like a nice harmonic symphony that you can just relax to. You can just feel yourself just relaxing and just calm and soothing. And I absolutely love the music that they played here. Um, I can't help but think, like, if this was earlier in the fandom, if this had have happened back during season 1 or season 2 in the fandom, how many remixes of this particular track people would have made, or if people would have actually made the symphony, they would have made a very similar or the same symphony and then made it longer. I don't really. Today there isn't so many Today there's not as many remixes or covers or anything like that, or like alternate versions of tracks in the show like there used to be in the fandom's earlier days. Which is really unfortunate, actually really sad, because I really wish somebody would make a much longer version of this, not loop what exists, but make like a much longer version and like extend that harmony. Like I said, back 6-7 years ago, I know some people would have done it, at least a couple would, but today in the fandom, yeah, not so many people do that anymore. Again, which is really sad, and this face Twilight makes. I would love it if somebody would like grab this, like screen this image and replace that trophy with like Flash, some of Flash Sentry's baby pictures, and there's Twilight standing there, like giggling internally, like she's on the brink of bursting into uproarious giggles, into a complete giggle fit because she thinks he looks adorable. That would be cute and hilarious. Or Twilight's trying to like get revenge on her brother, and she's showing Cadence Shining's baby pictures, and like she's trying to get revenge, like she's blackmailing him or something, and she's like, "Hey, bro, look what I found." And then she does this little innocent face. Or another edit that I can imagine is instead of the trophy, Twilight happened to sneak a picture of Flash Sentry, and she made a homemade calendar of him. And this is one of the pictures, like she's showing the picture here. Again, it's a cute thought. It's a cute thought. The characters as sea ponies. Look at Twilight. Again, I can't help it, but as the sea ponies, they just look so cute with them holding the little hoosies up in the air. It's so cute. And we get to see this beautiful, and we saw this room before in the movie, but again, it's beautiful to see. I love the lighting and the like chandelier that they have here. It's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. Or this throne here, it's beautiful. It's absolutely stunning. And I love the lighting here. It's very soft. It's very natural. It's very soothing. I absolutely love it. And I love the homey, nice, comforting, homey feel that they have here. This nice little table setting. And again, the voice work for Tomar's mom and his dad, and for Tomar himself, is just lovely. I mean, they have such good voices. I mean, I didn't check to see who voiced them at the end. I need to check that so I can properly give them credit. Okay, Brian Dobson as Skybeak, okay, and Adva Saldick as Oceanflow. Okay, both of them, and Cole Howard as Terramar? Sorry, was I calling him Tomar the whole time? I'm sorry. Terramar. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Anyway, again, the voice work for these characters is just amazing. I love how natural that they feel. I mean, like, it doesn't sound bad whatsoever. Like, there's nothing. I mean, it sounds beautiful. It sounds natural. It sounds like a really happy, loving family, and I absolutely love that. I love the voices that they chose. They really work with the characters, and they just sound so, so good. And I absolutely love the voice work. And again, look at Twiley. I mean, Twiley as a sea pony, again, she's just, I mean, adorable as a sea pony. I mean, she's just adorable as a sea pony. And again, I love how she has her little hoovesies up. It's just really, really adorable. And then this moment right here, whenever whenever Ocean makes the mention about Tomar's baby pictures, and then immediately Terramar is like, what? No! Like, he freaks out. And he's like, no! I mean, come on. This is freaking hilarious because, come on, how many of you, I won't deny, I have not been in that situation before, knock on wood, but, I mean, it's a really, I mean, it's a hilarious cliche, and that, you know, the mother breaks out the baby pictures, but you know what, it's honestly true. And how many have been in that situation where maybe you've been with friends or other family or your date, and suddenly, like, maybe your mom, your dad, your grandma, grandfather, whatever, just suddenly breaks out the baby pictures, and you're like, my life is over. My life is over. And here is, like, your friends or whomever, your date or whatever, sitting beside you laughing, and you're just sitting there wishing for an asteroid to come out of the sky and hit you. I mean, it was comical for that to be here. I love that they put that in there because it's just so hilarious. And again, Twilight is adorable. Like, yes, I want to see his baby pictures. And then she's like, to see sea pony development and whatnot. Yeah, she's just having fun. She wanted an excuse to giggle. She wanted an excuse to later on, whenever she sees him, she's like, I saw you with that Barney blanket. And again, I love how the CMCs, they were like, they knew, yeah, we call bullcrap. They're like, yeah, we call bullshit. Yeah, we know what you're gonna do. And again, the ponies they just look adorable with their little hoosies up. And I think, honestly, Twilight and Apple Bloom had some of the best faces in this episode. They really did. At this moment, whenever Sweetie Belle makes a mention about how do you not get all pruny, the first thought that crossed my mind, Sweetie Belle, you're turning into your sister. You're turning into your sister Rarity. Like, it's little moments like this whenever you can see the bloodline running through them, whenever you can see that they are sisters. And this moment whenever Apple Bloom is seeing her friends just sitting there on the beach, like, she has the freak that I just watched face. Like, the freak just happened. I can just hear her inner thoughts, like y'all just started fighting in a song. Seriously. I love her expression. It really does. I mean, I love her expression. It really does set the scene here. And whenever Apple Bloom and Sweetie Belle, whenever Sweetie Belle and Scootaloo were fighting, I knew they were back to back. I just knew it. It was more comical. I knew there was no way that they were going to be sitting on, like, this far apart, because it was just more comical for them to be sitting back to back. I knew it was going to happen, because honestly, not going to lie, story-wise, that's exactly how I would have wrote it. I would have wrote it the same way. It was just comical to have them be just back to back. Like, they can hear what each other are saying. And then and Apple Bloom tries right here to explain the situation, but then whenever Sweetie Belle and Scootaloo begin to talk, Apple Bloom has that face that is basically saying, I'm going to buck you up. I can just, like, she has this face of saying, y'all are this close to me tossing you into the ocean. That was absolutely hilarious. And you can see her face, like, she's wondering how the heck that they could let something so insignificant cause them to fight. It's just hilarious. Like her facial expression is perfect here. Like, seriously, are you freaking serious? Are you freaking serious right now? I love Apple Bloom's facial expressions here because it just really sells it, and pretty much voices what fans would think at the at that exact moment as well. And I guess in a way, with this particular episode, and I can't help it, this particular hippogriff right here on the left, the like aqua or teal colored, she looks like lightning dust. She honestly looks like a hippogriff version of lightning dust. Speaking of which, I really want to see lightning dust come back. But again, I love this little beach scene here. And technically speaking, it is the first beach-based thing we've got in the show. It doesn't include the ponies, though. It does include the hippogriffs. But, yeah. But again, I do love the design for Terramar's parents. I do love their look, their design. The dad, he has like a strong he has a strong yet honest and warm-hearted appearance to him with his look and his personality, which I really like. And his mom has like a very warm, very like somewhat regal and elegant look and way that she carries herself, but she's also friendly and warm, and I can tell that she's also fun-loving as well. And so again, it's very nice to see that, and I love the character design and overall personalities and voice work of these characters here. It's really, really awesome. It's also interesting again that at the end of the episode we get a freeze frame, which I think makes a nice picture. You know, like best of both worlds right here. But again, I did really enjoyed this episode. It was cute, it was sweet, and it was again, it was a cute episode, it was a sweet episode, and like I said, it's not my most favorite, but of this season so far. But we're not too far. I mean, this is just the 6th episode. There's 20 more to go, so I know it's probably going to be at least a few more that are going to be my most favorite. But again, this was a fun episode. It's cute, it was sweet, and so again, to everybody that worked on this episode, thank you all so much. Thank you, Hasbro, everybody that worked on this episode. It was a cute episode. It was a sweet. It was a fun episode. It was a sweet episode. So again, thank you to everybody that worked on this episode. Really good episode. Thank you all so much, and also thank you to everybody for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. I need to turn my air conditioner back on, and so again, thanks again for joining me, and hopefully I will see you guys in the next video that I do. Take care.